Hey guys, so for my birthday, my parents got me a subscription to Sketchbox for 3 months. So I've really enjoyed watching people do the unboxings and the art with it, so I figured I would do that as well, just because I enjoy watching it and I thought it would be fun. So I did already open this because, well, I wanted to see what was inside, but so did my mom, so. But I will open it again. There's the art. So, it's pan pastels this month. Now, I've never used pan pastels, and I really don't use pastels in general. I'm not sure how to. I don't do it a lot. I wasn't really particularly interested in it, but now that I have it, I will see what I can do, and I may end up liking it. So I'll show you the colors. Yes, so I guess I'm really good at pausing when I'm in the middle of showing things. I realized I did that and I did not mean to. But this says that it's a custom 5-piece exclusive set. So this set of colors is only in this sketchbook. So there's extra sponges, I guess, to use with the pan pastels. I don't normally look up tutorials on things before I use them. I like to jump right in, and I think it's because I feel like I'm being more original that way. Even if I end up doing the same thing that everyone else does, at least I know that I was the one that did it. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing that I tend to do. There's a sticker. This is like little, I guess a swatch sheet of all of their colors. And it came with this eraser. And I actually was thinking earlier today that, funny it was today, that I might want to try a different kind of eraser, because right now I'm just using like pink pearl erasers, and I've heard that these are good. They're Moo erasers, but it smells horrible though. I opened it earlier and it smells really bad, but I'm sure that'll wear off. And then the last thing that's in the box is this, I don't know how to say it, Stabilo Sensor fine liner. Yeah, so this is the featured art and the artist card. So yeah, I'm really excited to try it. I have no idea how, but I'm sure I will figure it out, and hopefully I can do something. So for today's video, I wanted to try something a little bit different, as opposed to doing a poem in the background, which I will probably still continue to do. I thought I would try out a topic video and see how that worked out. So first off, I would like to talk a little bit about the drawing that I did here. So this was very difficult for me. There were a lot of things that I don't normally do. I don't do light colors. I don't do pastels, as I mentioned previously. I tend to use a lot of dark colors, and I like to use thick ink lines and normally watercolor. So the colors of the pan pastels were very, very light. They were not even remotely dark. And even though pan pastels are really cool in the way that you can actually mix the colors, I didn't have a darker color at all to mix with them. So as you'll see later on in the video, I do kind of darken up some areas with colored pencils, which is something that I added. I used my Prismacolor pencils. So that being said, I really do like the way this turned out. And so today's topic is about doing things that you are uncomfortable with or that are outside of your comfort zone. So, as I said, many things in this piece were very difficult for me, but there's no way for you to grow as an artist if you don't take the time to actually make yourself uncomfortable. So, an example is when you work out. I do martial arts, and I will push myself until I know that I will be sore the next day, because if I don't do that, then I'm not going to be getting any stronger, and the muscles will heal and you will be stronger in the long run, and then you'll have to push yourself harder the next time so that your muscles can get even stronger. And it's the same way with art. So in this piece, I used pastel colors. I don't do that very often. And so as a result, it was very difficult for me to get used to. But I do like the way the final thing turned out. And it made me wonder, maybe I should do this more often. And it gave me a few new ideas that I hadn't previously considered. As you can see, I do give this girl tattoos. I give her tattoos and fairly, I guess, punk kind of clothing, because that's the type of thing I like, just in general. And so I wanted to see how I could make that work with pastel colors. And in the end, I think it turns out. So another thing is that this fine liner, I do like that the Sketchbox chose this pen in particular to go with the pan pastels instead of another medium, because I did a few tests prior to this and also after this, and this pen runs with watercolor. So I did ink and then I put watercolor on top of it and it runs. So it's good for dry mediums, but not so much for wet mediums. So it was a good one to include with this box specifically. But anyways, back to the topic. When you try new things, no matter what they are, whether it's a specific subject, if it's a new medium, in this case a new color palette, or a combination of all of the above, you grow as an artist. You learn about the supplies, you learn what you like, you learn what you don't like. I actually did this on a textured piece of paper because I had done a few tests with the supplies and I found out that the pastels do not work so well on smooth paper. I don't work on textured paper very often. I've done a few colored pencil drawings, but I don't necessarily care for the way that the colored pencils blend, especially skin tones, because they come across as very rough, just generally rough. So that's another new thing I did. This entire piece was very experimental for me. That I showed my test swatches for just a second. It was actually longer in real life, but it obviously sped up. So yeah, I do like this piece, and it made me think. And that's what's most important. to me. Because essentially, when I got this box, you can kind of tell in the intro, I was not happy with it. I was not thrilled. I was kind of disappointed. I was going to say not thrilled, but whatever, about the supplies that were in the box, for many reasons, mostly because I wasn't comfortable with them. And I think that for the most part, it was a very good thing that I ended up just continuing on anyways. I complained a little bit to one of my friends over text message, and she helped with some ideas. And you know, I'm not going to say that it's fun to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because it's not. It's really not fun at all, and you're gonna be uncomfortable. I saw the supplies that were in this box and I was very uncomfortable. I was disappointed, and in the end, it came across in the way that I was speaking in my introduction. And I think that's where the idea for this topic came from, because if you're not uncomfortable, you're not learning. And learning, I think, is the point of creativity. And you see, it skipped a little bit. I lost a tiny bit of footage, but all I did was fill that the rest of the way in. But as I was saying, if you're not uncomfortable, then you're not learning. I recently realized that I do a lot of ink and watercolor work, and that's almost all that I do. And recently, yesterday, I did a pencil drawing, and it was a 30-minute pencil study of a photograph, and it was difficult. Even though when I first started art, all I used was pencils, and my pencil studies were actually pretty decent. And so you get out of practice, and so when you push yourself and you explore new things and you try new things, what you're doing is you're helping to develop your creativity, and you're helping yourself, you're helping yourself in the long run. Because even though I wasn't comfortable when I started this piece, I learned a lot from it. And honestly, I really want to work with the pan pastels again. I might get a couple of darker colors just to mix with them, because that is the kind of person I am, and I tend to prefer darker colors. But I will be experimenting with pastel colors more in the future, especially because just the process of creating this piece gave me more ideas to do with pastel colors. So yeah, I mean, in the end, the most important thing is experimenting and trying new things, and not becoming comfortable and complacent with one specific technique. So I hope this made sense and wasn't completely rambly, but I'm still getting the hang of this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Alright, bye. Jumping in here as a bit of a side note, I did forget to mention that this piece is available on my Etsy shop, and there will be a link to it both in the description of this video and on the end screen if you want to check that out.